Hello my loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning into one of my videos, my name is Stef and I'm the Psychic Soul Alignment Coach. What I do is I work with spiritual entrepreneurs and spiritual people to help them to do very deep levels of healing. So that means peeling away all the layers of limiting beliefs, fears, traumas, insecurities, etc. in order to more powerfully align my clients with who they truly are on a soul level, on a higher self level. And when they achieve this greater level of soul alignment, of higher self alignment, they're then able to create success in their lives as well as their businesses. So that's how I help people. Here on my YouTube channel, I generally talk about things connected to manifestation, mindset, healing, spiritual entrepreneurship, and energy, and just anything around those kinds of things, or anything that my spirit guides want me to speak on. I know a few months ago, they had me do videos around spiritual activism and had me bring forward certain messages and perspectives and things to help people with handling coronavirus and Black Lives Matter and those kinds of things. And I'm sure that they'll have me talk about more things as things surface, right? So yeah, if you're tuning in for the first time, thank you so much for coming to my channel and checking this video out. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for always returning to my videos and supporting me in whatever ways that you can. I really appreciate you. Your time and your support means so much to me. As you can see today, I am doing this video from the beach. So I'm near the beach right now, so it's just easy to go a few blocks over to the beach and just sit here. And I'm actually next to, like, I don't know, like the beach is over here, as you can see, over here. And then here's like sidewalk, and lots of people are like walking through here, and there's a whole park, and lots of things are happening here. And it's just the craziest thing. When I decided to like go ahead and do this video, all of a sudden, all these people like came and just like hung around this space for like 5 minutes. And I'm like, I'm trying to do my video. And all these people just all of a sudden came over here. This little kid's been like hanging out in my background for a minute. He just like goes and comes back, goes and comes back. And then I was just like, you know what, whatever. Like, I guess I'm going to have to do this video with like all these people just hanging around. So this is what it is today. So anyway, today's video is all around the November 2020 energy reading. So here on my YouTube channel, I do monthly energy readings. I try to do it a few days before the first of the month that we're stepping into, or, you know, somewhere around the first few days of the month that we're just, you know, in. And so I do those monthly energy readings. That's what today's video is about. But I also do weekly energy readings on Tuesdays, and I actually do those on Mondays on Facebook generally, or at least I try to, and then upload them to YouTube on Tuesdays. And then Thursdays and Saturdays, I generally do my best to upload videos with specific messages that my guides want me to bring forward. So yeah, that's what I do. I don't know what is going on here with the people that take care of these districts. They're all kinds of intense here with coronavirus, and I think they're trying to kick everyone out of the park. I'm not sure, or trying to make everyone wear masks or something. I have no idea. Peru is really just extra when it comes to coronavirus measurements. That's all I got to say. So anyway, hopefully they don't kick me out and I can do my videos before I gotta go, but we'll see how this goes. So yeah, that's what you can expect from my YouTube channel. Really long intro. I don't know what's going on today, but this is the energy. Full moon energy is still around. It's making things a bit, I don't know, different. So, all right, let's get into today's energy reading. This is for the month of November, as I said. And I'm just going to read out what I got, or maybe I'll just like paraphrase. Basically, if you watch my October energy reading, and you can still go check that out, I'll put up here. I hope I'm pointing at the right place, or maybe this way. I never know. I always forget. But yeah, in October, the focus was like spiritual growth, development, transformation. It was a lot of that. And, you know, the month was pretty intense, especially if you set those intentions as indicated by my first weekly energy reading to, you know, evolve spiritually in October. And we have been asked to embody more of our spiritual truths in October. And so that was the focus of October. And in November, that same kind of transformation energy is still going to happen. But in this case, it's not as much about spiritual transformation. It's more so of the transformation of the self, okay? Self-transformation. And that's because October gave you all of this space, this opportunity, these experiences to really just have a higher level of spiritual growth and healing, transformation, all that kind of stuff. So you have changed, you have evolved. You have a greater understanding maybe of your truth, you know, in regards to spirituality. And so you've shifted, your consciousness has expanded. You no longer see things the way that you used to. And so because you've evolved on the spiritual level, it's now time for you to evolve on this more personal level. Like really kind of integrate on a deeper level and implement certain changes in how you are in the world and how you carry yourself and the things that you do based on the growth, healing, transformation that you achieved on the spiritual level in October, if that makes sense, right? So it's kind of like, let me give you an extreme example, and I'm not telling anyone to do this by any means, but it's kind of like, let's say in October, you know, how you transformed spiritually was you really realized that you had a deep attachment to material things, and you worked through that, and you really healed that on many deep levels, and you processed that, and you let that go, and you really realized, like, okay, the material things really don't mean so much to me anymore. Like, yeah, I like them, I enjoy them, but I don't need them obsessively like maybe I used to. I don't need to like have the latest whatever, or I don't need to buy this and that or whatever to feel good, because you've been healing, you know, in October in regards to this. So now November is like about, now that you have those greater understandings, realizations, that transformation, that healing from, you know, these spiritual things, now it's about like really changing your life, changing yourself to reflect that. So if that was what you were working through, quote unquote, you know, my example, then November is about like understanding how maybe you can implement more minimalism, or maybe going through things that you have in your possession, like as far as your possessions go, and like getting rid of things that really don't matter to you anymore, but that you had because you felt like you needed to have it, you know, to prove that you're successful, that you're worthy, that whatever it is. And you're really understanding, like, I don't need all this stuff. Like, I can let that go. I can release this. I can donate this. I can sell it. I can give it away, whatever, you know? And so it's kind of like that. You know, it's not just about like having the spiritual growth and understanding and development, but it's like applying it now so that your life is more reflective of that. And you know, as a person, reflect more of those greater understandings, right? Does that make sense? Let me know if it makes sense in the comments below as you're watching this video, and definitely give this video a thumbs up, a like if you're enjoying the message so far. So that's what, you know, November is all about. It's transformation of the self. And, you're going to be doing things differently than you've ever done before, right? You're going to express yourselves differently in the world, in your careers, in your relationships, in your day-to-day, and how you live your life, and your lifestyle, that kind of thing. And you're massively changing things up because, you know, with spiritual growth and development, you know, these spiritual epiphanies that we have, like, you know, sometimes if you watched my last video, I uploaded, I think it was yesterday, I uploaded a video in which I was talking about soul growth lessons as a spiritual leader, and I didn't really have a specific point for that video. I was just sharing my experience in the moment. This was from like August 2020, but I finally uploaded yesterday. And I wrote about it on Instagram as well. So if you want to follow me on social media, you can find my social media things in the description of this video. But on Instagram, you know, the little caption that I did that followed that video was all around, you know, how like we're all going to go through lessons, and sometimes these lessons are soul growth lessons, and sometimes things known as, or experiences known as, dark nights of the soul are aimed for soul growth. And if you know what a dark night of the soul is, then you know that those experiences can be really intense and really heavy, and you go through so much healing and, you know, awakening and breaking down and all this other stuff. It's just a very intense experience. And when you go through that, you know, even though maybe it's painful, it's difficult in the moment, you come out completely different and changed afterwards, right? You're not the same person that you were prior to the dark night of the soul. You're completely different. You have a more expanded consciousness, a greater understanding, more in your power, deeper in your faith and your trust and whatever it is. So you're completely different, right? So because you're completely different, you're not going to live your life the same way, you know, prior to the dark night of the soul. Like once you go through that dark night of the soul, or that soul growth lesson kind of experience, you're going to move throughout the world and do things completely differently, right? So that's kind of like what's going to happen in November, is like because of this growth that you've gone through, this healing, this transformation, you're going to massively change things up in the world. You're going to do things completely differently from what you have before. And so you're going to, you know, in different areas of your life, you're massively changing things up. And maybe you're not going to do that right away. Maybe you still need a bit of a process in November, because maybe the energy of October is still going to follow you a bit through November, and you're still going to go through that. But, you know, towards, you know, the middle of the month or the end of the month, you're going to really start implementing those changes. And so you're just going to show up differently in the world. Now, to be reflective of this version of you now that has this greater spiritual resiliency or understanding or growth, transformation, right? So that's for that part. Now, because you're going to be doing things completely differently from what you have before, this also means that you're going to be taking certain paths, opportunities, ventures, etc., that you hadn't taken in the past, because in the past you weren't ready, right? We are on this never-ending journey of letting go of who we're not to align with more of who we truly are, again and again and again. This is never going to have a one like destination. Like we're just going to keep going through this process again and again. So all year long and forever and ever in the future, you're going to constantly let go of who you're not on greater levels to align with more of who you are. And even though many of us have been wanting to let go of certain things that maybe we're conscious of and we've been aware of and we've been working through, we've still held on to things that weren't serving us. Certain belief patterns, certain traumas, certain perspectives, certain emotions, certain views, whatever it may be. And we haven't really fully let go of certain things that we have needed to, right? But because of the deep transformation that happened in October and that will probably continue to happen in November, we're now more ready to step forward in a way completely differently and greater than we have in the past. Because in the past, ego still had a hold on us. Ego still kept us from taking those paths, those opportunities, those ventures, or whatever else. Because ego was chiming in our head, telling us like, no, you're not ready, or you can't do this, or it's not the right time, or whatever ego has been telling you, it's making you fearful, doubting yourself, thinking you can't do this, whatever it is. But we've been able to break free enough because of this whole process all year long. In October especially, we've been, you know, chipping away at it, that we're now in this better space to be like, you know what, it's the time. Like, I'm just going to do this. I don't care, you know, I don't care if it scares me, or I don't care if I don't know how yet, or it's kind of like we're just at this point where we're like, whatever, I'm going to do it. So this is kind of like what's going to allow for us to move forward in these ways that we've been maybe needing to move forward in or do things in, but we hadn't allowed ourselves to, because of, you know, ego and whatever else we had inside of ourselves that kept us from really moving in those directions, okay? And so, yeah, you know, what they said is that in the past we didn't take these paths, ventures, opportunities, etc., because we didn't think we were ready. We couldn't conceive or comprehend being able to take these opportunities, ventures, paths, etc. You know, it just didn't compute. We were like, I can't do that. You know, that's impossible. It's, you know, so we held ourselves back in this way. And what they said is like, you didn't think it was possible. You didn't see or understand how these paths, opportunities, ventures, etc. could help you. Because sometimes literally, like, there are paths, opportunities, things that are exactly for people, but people in the moment, they're like, no, I don't need that. It's like, how do you not know you need that, or you would benefit from that? Like, from an outsider's perspective, you know, you can see that that person would really benefit from that thing. But when you're in it, sometimes it just, I don't know, it doesn't register in the brain. So, you know, they said, you know, you didn't think it was possible. You didn't see or understand how it could help you. You didn't understand its connection to you. how it could be supportive of you. You didn't fully embody the version of yourself that you needed to be to go down that path due to resistance, right? But now you're more ready to take the leap, to go for it, to push forward and not look back. And it's doing this that will accelerate more of that personal growth, transformation, expansion, healing, etc., right? So it's by casting caution to the wind and doing things significantly different from in the past that you allow yourselves to move forward. So they urge you to be mindful this month of where you're being asked to let go of just these old ways, you know, that you've been maybe needing to let go of, and to step into the new and just really take all of that newfound growth, transformation, wisdom, experience that you've had, you know, this past month or all year long, to really be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do things completely differently. I mean, I don't know who came up with the quote, because I'm not really good at like quoting people. There's some quote out there on the internet, Google it, where it's like insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And I know I definitely have had to check myself on that plenty of times, because you know, we want different, we want to finally move forward, we want certain things, but then we go back to our old patterns, our old habits, our old ways of being and thinking and stuff. And so it's kind of like, you know, with everything, you know, like, listen, you got nothing to lose. You got everything to gain from being willing to just take that leap of faith. You know, be more daring in life, live your life more boldly, more courageously. Because you really, you know, if you continue the way that you have, you're just going to get what you've been getting. So this is kind of like throwing caution to the wind and just being like, you know what, screw it. Like, obviously, you know, how I've been doing things have been getting me, you know, this. And do I want to keep going down that path, or do I want to completely move forward? And if so, like, I'm gonna do things that are gonna accelerate that and move me forward and pull me forward or push me forward even, you know, instead of continuing down this path that I have been. So yeah, that's what they said is, you know, where are you being asked to show up as this brighter, more powerful, more loving, more trusting, more courageous version of you? And how do you live your life from that space? Be mindful of old patterns, okay? And choose to break free. So that's basically the message for November, okay? Deep personal transformation and growth. And yeah, you know, like, I'm really feeling it for myself, because like I said, ego keeps wanting to pull us back into old ways of doing things. And it's like, stop. Like, stop. Like, you keep going back to the same things. Like, stop doing that. And just choose, even moment by moment, just differently. Choose to think differently in that moment. Choose to decide differently in that moment. Choose to react differently in that moment. Choose to be differently in that moment. You know, like, catch yourself when your ego tries to pull you back and just being like, no, I'm done with this. Like, I have noticed month after month after month how my ego keeps trying to drag me back to this stuff, and it hasn't worked. So if I keep doing that, like, it's going to get me more of the same or worse, and I don't want this anymore. So I'm just going to choose in this moment to just do differently, you know, even if it's extreme. The thing is that it's like we're really breaking free from ego. And ego's so conditioned and programmed to, like, go back to the old stuff, you know. Oh, it's so funny. Like, this, I don't know if it's funny, but this lady was, like, walking past me and she saw me without a mask and she, like, covered her son or something and took him away. I don't know what to say on that. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself. But, you know, ego is trying to, like, get you to do things the way that you always have, and it'll try to reel you in, and you gotta recognize and just be like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. We're doing it differently. And this is the way that it's going to be, because I'm tired of the same ish. I'm not doing that anymore, right? And the way that you're being asked to do things now is going to feel extreme for your ego, because your ego's like, no, you can't do that. That's, like, dangerous. That is crazy. That is going to get you hurt. You can't do things in this way. What are you thinking, right? And ego's going to try to pull you back to the old patterns. But you literally have to decide, like, no, I don't care if it seems extreme to you, ego. I have love and compassion for you, but we're doing things differently. And I'm going to keep practicing that and practicing that until that's my new normal. And that's just what is. And life gets to be awesome, right? So just very quickly, because this video is already like 20-something minutes long and I don't want to make it so long, excuse the music, is I pulled some cards as well for week by week by week. So for week 1, I got this Sanat Kumara card, which is light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. I got connect with music. I got Archangel Michael. You are protected. Trust your vibes. And live your joy. Live your joy, right? That's for week 1. That's like the energies that are going to be present during the first week, which is, you know, like, I just love this card because it's literally like shine your light, come out of the darkness, stop being in fear, stop being in, you know, holding yourself back, come out of the shadows and really allow your true self to be seen, really show up as this version of yourself. So it's really us stepping into this. And when we step into more of our true selves, you know, and we trust in that inner guidance, we trust in our inner knowing that it's okay to be ourselves. It's okay to give ourselves the space to just, you know, do things in this way, to do things the way our souls or higher selves are asking us to. That's when we're going to live in our joy. That's when we're going to really be happy because we're allowing ourselves to be who we truly are. But we got to set ourselves free. When we got to do that for ourselves. When we do that for ourselves, we're going to be jumping up for joy. We're going to feel lit up inside. And we got to just make sure that, you know, like, we're safe. We're safe to really be the highest version of ourselves, to express ourselves authentically, to do things or go down the paths that we feel called to go down. Like, we're safe to do that. Because like I said earlier, you know, ego's going to try to pull you back to the old ways you've been doing things and try to keep you on those same habitual cycles and patterns and situations and circumstances. And that's because ego feels safe in those repetitive cycles and patterns. Ego knows that. That's the known for the ego. And the ego wants to keep you there because it feels it can control those things, right? Because it knows what to expect. So, but the thing is that, like, what would you rather choose? Would you rather choose to expect the same kinds of dissatisfaction and unfulfillment and stress and anxiety and worry that you've been getting all this time, doing the things that you have been doing the way that you have been doing them, you know, showing up the way that you have? Like, do you want to keep dealing with that repetitive internal struggle all the time? Or do you want to actually break free from that and give yourself the opportunity, the possibility, the space to experience completely differently, to have that fulfillment, that joy, that excitement, that passion, that abundance that you've been craving, that you've been seeking, right? You've been desiring for a really long time, that your soul is asking you for, right? And so this video is going to end up being long because this is just like week 1 and I'm still talking. So y'all know I can talk. By the way, you have the settings here on YouTube that you can change the speed for the videos. You can always change the speed if you're short on time. But, you know, that's what I'm talking about, is that, you know, you have to choose to break free from the ego, break free from the patterns. What is going on with these dogs? I think some of y'all know I'm a dog person, but I'm not a fan of little dogs in Peru. They just don't know how to act. Patience. So, with what I was saying, okay, if some of y'all decide to come at me because of my issues with dogs here, you're more than welcome to. I love dogs. I just don't. I can't deal with this. Maybe they're being their authentic selves. Who knows? Anyway, so back to what I was saying, you know, with this is ego feels safe in the known and the comfort, and not in the comfort. It's not always comfortable being in our patterns, but it feels safe being and existing in those ways in which we have been, those environments, those situations, feeling those same feelings that we have been, thinking those same things that we have been thinking. But we have to be willing and brave enough to just choose to break free from that and choose to be like, no, I'm going to do something extreme. I'm going to go have fun, enjoy myself, listen to music, dance, you know, allow the vibration to move through my body and just feel in my body, and instead of just sitting there like a zombie all day long, you know, doing work and never having fun. You know, I'm going to have more fun now. I'm going to live my life, you know, more passionately. I'm going to, you know, experience more joy. I'm going to trust in my intuition, my inner knowing that's telling me to, you know, do things differently in this way. Oh, this little cute dog has a little unicorn dress on. I love it. See, I love dogs. Quiet little dogs. Anyway, yeah, you know, and I'm going to allow my true soul and essence to shine through, right? So that's, you know, kind of like week 1 is like start shifting into more of this. Start allowing more of your soul to come through and to be expressed through you, and just break free from the things, right? That is week 1, especially because, you know, yesterday was the full moon energy, and you can still set intentions for the full moon. I didn't do them, but I'm going to do them today, you know, so set your intentions. By the way, it's the first of the month, and I really encourage you to set your intentions first of the month. That's what I do for my community on Facebook. I have a group, and I encourage them to set intentions every month on what they want to achieve throughout the month. So this is your reminder to do that, okay? But yeah, you can set intentions still for the full moon and release what's not serving you. Like, what can you recognize about your thought patterns, your life, the ways that you've been doing things, the paths that you've been taking, or whatever, your decision making that's just not serving you, and just let that go. Just choose to, like, in that intention setting, choose to decide, like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm sick of this. I'm done. Okay, throwing caution to the wind. I'm going to do things completely differently, and I'm going to live my best life out here. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to trust myself. Oops, my card. Ah. That was so funny. My card went like flying. Archangel Michael like went and flew away from me. But yeah, you know, have fun, enjoy yourself, listen to music. You're safe. You're safe to be you. And legit, like, if you have been following me for a while, you know that I'm always sharing the journey. Like, that's the whole point of yesterday's video as well, with like soul lessons as a spiritual leader and stuff. You know, I'm always sharing as authentically, as vulnerably as I can, because I'm just a normal human being out here doing my best as well. And legit, like, I was feeling so much discomfort here on my right side of my body. Literally felt like I was being twisted or something. And I've been feeling this on and off. And you know, I've learned by now, like, I always got to tune into the message, because every time it's usually different. And I asked my guides, and they literally had me repeat to myself, like, I'm safe. Wait, I have the message out here somewhere in my notes. Okay, I can't remember what they, well, basically, it's in my notes somewhere. But basically, they had me repeat to myself, like, I'm safe to be still. I'm safe to just be. I'm safe to just be present. And I, like, legit just sat here for 20 minutes just repeating that to myself. Repeating that to myself, doing everything else that they told me to do, and just being present with the ocean, with the plants, with all the people. This little kid almost fell. And I was just being present as best as I could be, and just doing that. Because again, ego tries to make you feel fearful and tries to pull you back into these other toxic or non-helpful ways of being to feel safe. And so long as you continue down that path, you're going to limit your potential, and you're not going to really allow yourself to live your greatest, fullest, most exciting, rewarding life. Because you're continuously going back to what your ego believes is the best that you can have. And ego is limited. It's like in this little box. It's like, no, you got to come back to this pattern, because this is, you know, good. This is safe. This is possible. This is, you know, what you're capable of, or whatever. And it'll try to pull you back into these things, and you're just in this box all your life. And you have to be willing to break free and do things completely differently. And that's part of, you know, why my guides were like, it's safe. It's safe to be still. It's safe to just be. It's safe to be present. Because that's me doing things completely differently from my ego, right? And if you have been following my journey for like the last week or so, probably noticed I haven't been on Instagram much. And then there was a situation with my laptop, which still has a bit of a situation, but whatever, it's working now. And couldn't do anything, right? Because I'm learning to be still, just be. and be present, right? So you have to be willing to do things completely differently from your ego, from your old habitual ways of being and doing, even if it seems extreme to your ego. Even if your ego's like, no, but you gotta do this, you gotta, you know, like, the way to break free from things is going on the completely other side of it. Like, that's how you really shake your own personal paradigm. That's how you quantumly leap yourself forward into completely different versions of reality. When you do things that literally scare the crap out of your ego. When you do the things that your ego is literally super resistant around. That's when you completely open up all these new timelines for yourself and possibilities for yourself. But you have to be willing to be brave enough to take that leap. To, yeah, what is the word in English? I don't know, but it's like trust in yourself, to bet on yourself. There you go, the expression. You have to be willing to bet on yourself and just be like, just going for it, you know, like, screw it, I'm just going for it, because what, like, if I keep going down the same path, it's just going to get me more of the same things, and I gotta just do this, you know, even if it's scary right now, or whatever. So that is week 1. Week 2, I got these cards. This is Archangel Gabriel. In the female form, it says, speak your truth. And Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. So that's week 2. And I really feel like, yeah, you know, it's just about cultivating that greater self-awareness and really, you know, what do you want? What is it that you really want with your life? Speak it. You know, don't be brave enough to say it. Be brave enough to declare it. And be brave enough to go within yourself and be like, what is keeping me from creating that? What is keeping me from pursuing that? What is keeping me from being more of that? That's where that inner study is important, right? You have to say what you want and be honest with yourself. Is, you know, the current circumstances in your life really what you want, or do you want better? You know, is this as good as it gets, or would you like it to be, you know, even more amazing? And really speak that. Really speak who you want to be, what you would like to experience and all that stuff. And then go within. Go within and just be like, okay, so like, what needs to shift internally here? Where am I holding myself back? Where am I playing small? Where am I not believing? Where am I not trusting? Like, you got to go within to see what's keeping you from realizing or manifesting the desires that you say you want, right? That's where you're going to come into greater alignment with who you are to support more of this self-transformation. Right? And then week 3, I got Master Jesus and Archangel Shamuel. And Master Jesus says, forgiveness. You are on the path of light and love and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. And I feel like that one is really all about, especially like that week, 3rd week, it's about doing more heart healing. Forgiving probably yourself for letting yourself down, holding yourself back, bringing you to where you are. For being afraid, playing small. So forgiving yourself, maybe forgiving others as well, but there's going to be some kind of heart healing happening for sure this month, all month long, but potentially you might feel it more intensely on that 3rd week. And just because, you know, in order to transform yourself and to allow more of your true light to shine through, you have to clear those heart blocks. You have to clear that stuff to really accept yourself and allow your true self to be seen and heard and experienced. You have to work through that for yourself. And that can't happen so long as you have these things up. So you got to do that heart healing. Okay? And also with week 3, I got Archangel Metatron. It says, clear your vibes. And yeah, you know, whatever heaviness that you've been carrying that has kept you from being more of your true self, you got to heal through that and then clear it. Let it go, release that energy. Move forward. Okay, I love this little dog. You can't see well, you saw its tail. She has a little dress on. She's so cute. So yeah, it's releasing. Okay, I feel like week 1 is more about like starting to step into more of this version of yourself, doing things differently, living life more fully. I feel like week 2 is more about like, okay, you know, what's still holding me back though? Where have I noticed that I'm still resistant? What do I need to understand more about myself and stuff? And then week 3 feels like it's more like, okay, now that I have this greater understanding of who I want to be, what I want to create, etc., but what's holding me back, like I need to work through that. I need to release that. I need to purge that. I need to heal that. I need to clear that energy off of me, right? It's progressive, you know? And then week 4, you got Bridge and you got Archangel Jeremiah. And Archangel Jeremiah is all around the miracle of forgiveness, and Bridge is around inner strength, move back to wholeness, recognize that you have the power. So, yeah, with that said, I feel like there's going to be more healing for sure. But it's like you don't have to keep beating yourself up for your decisions, for the things that you have done, or for where you're at, or any of that stuff. Like you have the power to change that. You have the power to turn that around. You have the power to choose to use those things to grow from and to make you better and wiser. And so you have the power to do this. And I think it's just really about just forgiving yourself and choosing to move forward and move beyond that, right? And so something that really stood out to me when I originally got these cards is I looked at these and like the majority of them, if you notice the Trust Your Vibes card, it's like heart space stuff here. This really stuck out to me as well in Melchizedek, this as well in Shamuel, Jesus as well. Archangel Metatron, he has his hands here around his heart space. Bridge has the flame, and Jeremiah has the flame as well. There's going to be a lot of like healing this month for sure, because you need to understand that in order for you to transform yourself, okay, on this level, this personal level, like you have to be good with yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to accept yourself, because the fact of the matter is that most of us have issues with ourselves. Even though maybe we've done a lot of work around that and we're in a much better place, that doesn't mean that there's not more that we can continue to move through to come to an even greater level of self-acceptance and love for ourselves. There's always greater and deeper levels. That's what I'm going through right now. You know, with my whole lessons and stuff that I mentioned earlier, I'm stepping into another level of self-acceptance and self-love. And, you know, in order for us to transform ourselves, we have to heal our hearts from all the pain and the traumas and the things that impacted our ability to love ourselves fully and wholly, right? That we have to move through that and let those things go to allow ourselves to be who we truly are, so we can come back to more of who we really are again, and we can be that version of ourselves. We can transform into that version of ourselves in our lives, in our day-to-day, and share that with the world, right? So that is, you know, the thing is that most of us have experienced traumas or things, other things, you know, on some kind of level that have caused us to not have a good relationship with ourselves. And so that's why we live our lives not being who we really are and being who we think we need to be, who we're supposed to be for XYZ reasons. And the way to start, you know, or stop doing that and to align with more of who we really are is loving ourselves and being at peace with ourselves and healing the issues that we have towards ourselves, right? So that there's going to definitely be a lot of heart healing that happens in November for sure, so that we can allow ourselves to be who we truly are and really achieve this level of self-transformation that we're destined for in November. So that's basically the November 2020 energy reading. If you stuck around till, you know, the end of this video, you are amazing and I appreciate you. I know it was really long, but I really hope that it has helped you. If it has, please let me know in the comments below how this message resonated with you today. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give this video a thumbs up, a like wherever you're watching from. Share this video out with a friend that you feel could benefit from this message, or wherever else you feel people could benefit from this message. It really means a lot to me when you share my work out with people that you feel could benefit, because I just want to help people out and just guide them and support them on their journeys to make it a little bit easier. So yeah, and if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I definitely recommend that you subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell notification button and change your settings to all so that you never miss out on a notification from my channel. And other than that, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you spending, 40 minutes-ish with me and listening to what I had to say and what I had to bring forward. And I really hope that it was of the highest of service to you today. And I send you so much love in November, because it's going to be a very powerful, highly transformational month. Another one. When isn't life this way? I swear. Being human is quite the experience, and every day I think I learn to have more love and respect and admiration for every human I see on this planet doing their best to just get through this whole experience. Thank you so much for your time. I love and appreciate all of you for your comments, your support, for taking time to watch these videos. And if you would like to work with me and see how I can support you, I would love for you to just reach out to me via my social media accounts, Instagram and Facebook. As I said, the links to my social media accounts and my Facebook community are in the description of this video, so you can click on that. The links there to reach out to me to see how I can support you. I have programs and courses and just different things that could potentially benefit you. Okay, so thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.